Órale, Cholo Trucker, M.A.S. movies and shows, and here we got the movie Bad Boys Ride or Die. It is the fourth installment to this franchise, Bad Boys Part 4. Now, when this movie came out, I actually went on vacation, so I didn't get a chance to go watch it. The weekend it came out, the way I had planned to see it when it came out, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I gotta go on I'm going on vacation that weekend, right? So I was thinking, well, maybe I guess I'll just watch it when it comes out on some app. But no, you know what? It was still out in theater and it was getting a lot of really good reviews. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go check it out, man. I want to see it in theaters. So I went ahead, checked it out, and here's what I got from it. So um basically, man, the movie starts with Will Smith, Mike Larry, right? He's settling down. Oh, yes, he's getting married. No more being the guy, right? The guy out there, man, just, all about the ladies. No, now just about one lady. So he's settling down. And Martin Lawrence, I'll tell you, you could tell he's aging. You could tell both of them are aging, but Martin Lawrence a little bit more. You could see his cheeks a little bit, chunkier. You could just see it in his eyes that he is really starting to age. Now, a lot went down in this movie. I'm going to be real with you guys. Bad Boys Part 1 and Part 2, I remember very, very well. The third one, right? Bad Boys for Life. I do remember liking it. I do remember parts and pieces of the movie, but I don't really remember characters, and I don't even remember what the movie was truly about. Obviously, the big thing of the third Bad Boys was the captain dying, right? And Will Smith, Mike Larry, finding out that he had a son, and the son is the one that killed the captain, and his crazy mom, but I don't really, it wasn't that memorable. I do remember liking it, but I couldn't really tell you too much about the movie when it comes to details the way I could part one and part two, right? With Tapia. That was good, man. I really enjoyed part two. Um, so here in part four, when some of the characters were coming in, it's like they knew each other, and I'm like, I think I remember them from part three. I think I'm just gonna use numbers, okay? Part one, part two, part three, part four, instead of ride or die, bad boys for life, or anything like that. I'm like, I think they were in part three. Okay, yeah, it does kind of ring a bell a little bit. Okay, sure, all right, I kind of get it. So, um, really know part three in and out before you watch this one. I should have rewatched part three because I vaguely remember it. Like I said, the way I remember part one and part two. Um, lot of action in this movie. Now, here's the thing, okay? At some point, Marcus Burnett, Martin Lawrence, has a meeting Jesus moment, okay, in this movie, pretty early in this movie. And he's going throughout the movie with that. Like, hey, you know what? Like, in a way, he went to the afterlife and he had an epiphany in his life. All right. One thing that I can tell you guys that really took me out of the movie is the fact that his wife, um, shoot, what is it? Teresa, um, is a different actress. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if all his family are the same actors or not. The only one that I can tell you for sure that is the same actor is Reggie. Oh, yes, my boy Reggie, the United States Marine, Reggie. And by the way, Reggie in this movie puts in some work, homie. In this movie, we get to see Reggie get his hands a little bit dirty and put in some work. So I did like that. The chemistry between uh Martin Lawrence and the new actress, that they got to play his wife, it just wasn't there for me. Okay. It was too foolish, too cartoonish. She's taller than he is. It wasn't working for me. I'll just put it to you guys like that. It just wasn't working for me. And a lot of the comedy, this is an action comedy movie, right? A lot of the comedy coming from Martin Lawrence, it almost felt a little forced. It didn't feel genuine like it did in the other movies. I couldn't really pinpoint exactly what it was, but I was like, okay. It's like he's trying to be funny right here, but I don't know. I'm probably just giving like a nice little courtesy chuckle as opposed to me actually finding it funny and laughing. Now, the son, right? Mike Larry's son, Will Smith's son that we all met in part three, he does play a big role in this movie as well. Captain is framed for being a dirty police officer. And these two guys, Mike Larry and Marcus Burnett, know that it's BS, know that they have to, uncover the truth to save the captain's legacy. And by the way, the captain left them something behind. I don't want to ruin it too much for you guys, but at some point, both Marcus and Mike become outlaws on the run, trying to uncover all of this because it goes pretty high up. And that's where the movie pretty much goes, man. And it's a good movie. I enjoy it. I know I was just talking about, hey, it kind of throws me off, and it does. But look, it's a good one. Is it as good as I would say part one or part two? I really enjoyed part one. I really enjoyed part two. Part three, again, I remember liking it. I just don't recall. It just didn't, it's not memorable to me. It's just not. But I do remember really enjoying it. This one is kind of going to fall in the same boat. Um, Nothing that memorable to me. The captain who was killed in part three, his daughter is in this movie. I don't know her real name. I just remember her from the show Better Call Saul. She played Kim Wexler. She does a pretty good job. Now, I like this movie all in all. Um, at some point, they gotta end it. They do have to end it. It was a good movie, good watch. I did enjoy it, but it's starting to fade. It's starting to fade away, and I'm not finding it as entertaining as the other ones. Good action. It was still a good movie. Do not misunderstand what I'm saying. Still a good movie. Still recommended. If you're a fan of Bad Boys, you're gonna find a couple of things wrong with it, like I did. The wife, I'm telling you, the wife, it just, I don't know, really threw me off. Um, but it's starting to fade. So if they want to do one more and make it a complete five, cool, go for it as long as you can do it. But it's really starting to fade away from me. It really is. So, and one thing that I forgot to mention, Michael Larry in this is actually being tested the way Marcus had told him he's be tested. So he's kind of suffering some health complication. But I don't want. That's all I want to do, man. I don't want to throw no more out there and ruin it too much for you guys. But good movie, good action movie. Bad Boys, Ride or Die. If they want to make a part five, go ahead, but leave it at that. Leave it at that because it's really starting to fade away. And I want this to be a really good franchise, which if they ended right here, it's a really good franchise when it comes to action movies. If you want to keep on continuing more and more and more down the road, you're really going to start taking away from it. So either leave it right here or possibly maybe do one more. Bad Boys, Ride or Die. Cholo Trucker, M.A.S. Movies and Shows. Catch you guys on the next one.